I'm Amy from Doodle Dog Designs, and today I'm going to show you how to make these primitive little firecracker bundles. Let's get started. For this project you're going to need some dowel rods. I have some that are 5/8 inch in width and some that are 3/4 inch in width, and I've had all of them cut to 3-inch lengths. And you're going to need some jute and some paint, some red, white, and blue paint, and paintbrush. I'm going to use frog tape, sandpaper. I have 180 grit here. And then I'm going to use a finishing wax. You could use a Minwax Special Dark, or I'm going to use this Cottage Paint Raw Umber Wax. You'll also need some tacky glue, scissors, a ruler, and a pencil. I'm using Anita's White, Apple Barrel Bright Red, and Apple Barrel True Navy. We drilled a hole in the center of one end of each of the cut dowel rods, and the hole is just big enough to get a piece of jute. I'm going to tie a knot in it, and so just big enough for that knot to slide down into the hole. After you have all of the dowel rods cut and the holes drilled, you can sand them and get all the rough edges off. From the end that has the hole drilled in it, measure 1 inch down. Do that in a couple of places. And then take a piece of the frog tape and put it all the way around the dowel rod, right at that line that you made. And then I'm going to paint the top part blue. When you get all of the tops painted, just set those aside to dry. Once the blue paint is dry, you can peel the frog tape off. Try to keep it intact and then use it to put over the blue paint so we can paint the bottom part of the firecrackers. The next step is to paint the bottoms of the firecrackers white. Let the paint dry and apply a second coat if necessary. The paint is all dry, so I'm going to peel the tape off again. Most of these look pretty good along the edge. There are few spots here and there that I will probably touch up. So the next step is going to be to paint red stripes on the bottom of the firecrackers. You could be very precise and measure these and draw them with a ruler, or you could just draw some lines. I'm just going to draw lines that I want to follow because I want this to look fairly primitive and not perfect. So I'm just going to draw lines to show where my stripes will be for when I paint, and I'm going to put a little dot in the ones that will be red, and that will help me when I get back to the beginning on drawing lines. So I know this is red here, so I want to have a white, that's white, so I'll make this a white red stripe here. I'm going to use a little bit thinner of a paintbrush and paint the stripes red. Want to be sure to paint over the lines that you drew to cover them up. Set those aside to dry and recoat the red paint if necessary. Now I'm just going to take the end of a paintbrush and dip it in the white paint and make little dots on the blue area to represent stars. And I've got a smaller end. I'll make some smaller stars too. After the paint is completely dry, I'm going to take some sandpaper and lightly distress them. Next, I'm going to take my wax and just rub a little bit of wax all over on the firecracker. This gives it a nice aged look. And then use a clean cloth to buff the wax. You can see here a waxed one versus a not waxed one. The wax is all dry on these. The final step is to add the fuse. I've taken lengths of jute and I cut them about 3.5 inches long, and I'm going to tie a knot. And the very tip, I'm going to take some of my glue and dab a little bit on the knot, and then I'm going to use a toothpick to help poke the knot down into the hole. After you get it in, you want to take and dab off any excess glue that might be on the top. And then let that dry. Now you could leave these as they are, or you could bundle them up into groups with jute. I have 8, so I'm going to bundle them into 2 groups of 3 and then leave 2 of them loose. So to bundle them, I'm just going to take 3 of them and arrange them like I like them. I like to tie knots in the ends of the jute to keep it from unraveling. If you wanted, you could glue these together, or you could just keep them like this. I'd love to see yours if you make some too. If you like this video, be sure to click the like button and subscribe below. I'll see you next time. Bye.